Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. And for those of you here with me for the first time, my name is Melissa Reed and I am a mixed media artist from Pennsylvania. So today I've got in front of me, as you can probably see here, a black painted canvas. This is just one of the super value 8x10 canvases from Michaels. And it's something I used for another project. You can actually probably kind of see through some of the paint there, but I didn't like where it was going. And I had an idea for using a black canvas to start with. So I went ahead and coated that with my Saks True Flow heavy bodied acrylic paint here. This gives a really nice coverage. There's a link for that as well as a lot of my other items there in the description. Plus I will have an actual list of everything I'm using in this video for you in the description if you're interested. But anyway, this, like I said, back stapled canvas that I had previously used, covered it in that black paint and let it dry. So my plan here, if you kind of want to call it a plan, because as some of you probably know, I am an intuitive artist, so I don't really start with a fully formulated idea, fully formed idea. I'm kind of just, I've got an idea for a color scheme and I'm probably going to just fly by the seat of my pants like I usually do and see what happens, because that's my favorite way to make art. But for this one, the small idea that I do have is to start with some yellows, which I have pulled out here. I have my Liquitex Basics Primary Yellow. I have my Golden Acrylic India Yellow Hue and my Golden Acrylic Benzimidazolone Yellow Medium. I might have said that correctly. I am not sure. So my plan is to use various things like maybe a color shaper, maybe a brayer, maybe just an old gift card to apply some of this yellow paint to this black canvas. And the goal is to still be able to see some of the black through in places, but have it mostly yellow, if that makes sense. I think you can probably follow me there. What am I going to do after that? I have absolutely no idea. So as an intuitive artist, what that means for me is I will start doing something and let whatever is on the canvas tell me how to proceed after that. So that's what I'm going to do with this piece. I do maybe want to play with some Crackle paste on here. I have Golden brand Crackle paste and I don't use that a lot. I think I might have used it in one other video, but I think once we get the yellow paint down here, I'm going to put some of that on there and just see what we can come up with. So anyway, stick around and it will be a surprise to all of us. And yeah, here we go. So I'm going in with my primary yellow there, and I'm just applying a little bit of it to the very edge of one of my old gift cards. And like I said, I'm just using various ways to apply the paint to the canvas, rolling some of it. I'm going to use the color shapers, and I'm going to go back and forth between those tools and the yellows until I get the canvas covered sufficiently. And I don't even necessarily know what that's going to look like. I guess I'll just know when I see it. That's sort of how I operate with these things. It's going to mostly be covered, but I do want to still be able to see some of the black, or if not exactly the black, at least the darkness of it coming through, if you know what I'm saying. I want there to be, instead of a light background, which would come from just a gessoed canvas, I want there to be just like a darkness that's already there within the painting. So that's kind of what I'm going for right now. I did add a little bit of texture here and there just by grabbing my spray bottle full of water and just spraying a little bit down on the canvas and laying a shop towel down on top of that to pick up the area where I covered it. So it just adds a little bit of interesting texture to it that's going to kind of go along with all of the other textures that are being added just from simply using those tools. Now I had mentioned that I'm going to be using some Crackle paste, and I love the way it looks. I, for some reason, have not used it a lot in my artwork. I think I might have put some on a video a while back that I was just doing some different techniques on, or I might have been trying something. I can't remember exactly what I did, but I haven't actually used any on a piece. And incidentally, I'm not going for any kind of masterpiece here. This is basically just an experimental piece so that I can kind of get a feel for what this Crackle paste does. And that again is Golden Brand, I believe. Yes. I've had it forever and it hasn't dried out, so that's one good thing to know. And there are instructions on it. It says to apply it a minimum of a 16th of an inch thick to get the crackle effect. Now, it also says it has to cure for 3 days. And I did notice, because I went back and checked on it each day, and there were some changes on the first day or two, but not really so much on the third day. I think it's just more for giving it time to completely dry and harden so that it's ready to accept other paints or whatever other media you might be using on top of it. So I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do as far as design on this, but then I was out doing some adventuring the other day and I gathered a few leaves. I'm not really sure what these are. They just had an interesting shape and enough texture on them that I knew they would pick up on the gel plate. So I'm just doing a quick gel print here, and I know that most of you are aware of this process, but for anybody that isn't, I have tons and tons of other videos on gel plate printing, excuse me. So I can put some of those at the end for you if you want to check any of those out. I used black acrylic paint to lay down first, and I'm just going in with some matte gel medium because I want that to be, I don't want there to be a color in the background, I just want the black of the leaf. And I'm just picking that up with a piece of regular tissue paper, not the wet strength. That's typically what I use for my collage paper because I like the way that it disappears into the background when you glue it down. So I did several prints of those, but I just showed you the one there. I'm going to go ahead and get some of these leaves cut out and then kind of just decide on placement of where I might want them. Again, I still really don't have any idea what this piece is going to look like when it's finished. Again, it's all just experimental and for fun. Won't even probably put this one up for sale, but it's just a fun exercise for trying some new media and just seeing what we can make it do. So I have some Liquitex matte medium there. That's the more liquid one. I also have a more heavy-bodied gel consistency one that I use pretty much interchangeably. That's just happens to be the one that I've been using lately, and I'm almost done with that bottle, so I wanted to just keep going with it. I apologize for the fire sirens there. I swear every time I start to voice over a video, there's either a siren or a lawnmower or a cat meowing or something, but I think it's stopped now. So anyway, back to adhering that down to my canvas. I put a layer of it down on the canvas first, lay down whatever piece that I'm looking to collage on there, and then put another coat on top. I recommend doing it that way just so you make sure you have enough of the media on there that it's going to really stick and isn't going to come up for any reason. I'm also adding water and more wet media on top of there, so I want to make sure it's going to be stuck down really well. So what I have here is my spray bottle, and the first little tube that you saw was some Payne's Gray acrylic ink, which is what's in that bottle, but the little tube has it watered down a good deal. So I'm using a mixture of the watered down Payne's Gray and also some straight out of the bottle there. Again, this will all be listed in the description for you if you're interested. So I'm just basically covering that whole area, and you can see how the ink is going down inside all of the little cracks. And what that's going to do is settle down there and give me that nice definition of the actual crackles on there. Now I'm going to go over all of that once this ink is dry with some more of the yellow to blend it in, because right now, I mean, it's very awkward looking. It's just sitting right there on top of the canvas on top of the other yellow, and nothing is really unifying anything visually that you're seeing right now. But once I get this all dried and add that yellow paint on top, you'll see immediately what a difference that makes, because I was already at this point kind of going, I really don't like this. You know, I'm thinking it's not doing it for me. I don't know exactly what it needs to be, but then it just like hit me in the face like, well, of course you need to put the yellow on it. So I'm going to show you here in a second what that looks like when I get to that part. It is definitely really cool though, the crackle effect, and I'll probably use this in more pieces, maybe a little more sparingly or with a little better of a plan than I did in this piece, but again, this was just all for experimentation's sake, so no harm done. Okay, so I let everything dry there and I am squeezing out a little bit of that primary yellow and just taking it on my blending brush and going over, and you can see immediately how much better that looks. So I'm not putting it on very thick. I'm really just kind of lightly brushing it across the top like you would do if you were applying blush to your face. So very, very light strokes so that I can still get those wonderful dark gray crackles that are, I can get them to appear there on the canvas. I also took a little bit of that yellow and brushed it lightly over top of the collaged pieces because you can see that it has a much cooler tone from being printed on the tissue paper. And while that tissue paper does disappear into the background, it will leave a little bit of a cool tone just from the paper itself. So adding a little bit of that yellow brushed lightly over the top really unifies that too, and it no longer looks like something that's just stuck to the canvas, and it becomes more of a part of what's going on the canvas instead, if that makes sense. So once I got this part good and dry, I came back in with some more of that Payne's gray, and I'm using my bamboo skewer that I love to do with line work. So actually, I should say this incidentally, I had the piece, I was working on it in the other orientation the whole entire time, but I had it just so happened to be sitting upside down, I'll say. And I really liked the way it looked much better. So that's how I ended up orienting it for the final design, which is what I'm doing here with the ink and the skewer. And I'm just loosely doing some branches and just carrying out the theme a little bit from the leaves. I thought we can just do a branch or like a tree type thing, very abstract, of course. And so I'm just going in and making several branches, and then I go in and fill in some spaces that I suppose could be abstract leaves if you want to see them as such. I just really like the shape. The spindly lines from the bamboo skewer work really well with the crackle in the background, and also makes sense with the leaf shape, so it kind of unifies and pulls everything together visually into, something that you could see being a finished piece. Now again, when I say finished piece, I'm really talking about the finished experimental piece that I'm working on. I don't intend for this to be anything more than just that. But I was able to combine a lot of different techniques that I love. I love using this ink so much with the bamboo skewer. I'll put a link to a piece or two in at the end for you for some other pieces that I've done in this kind of style. But yeah, it's pretty cool all in all. I do really like the colors a lot. There's something about the yellow and the black and gray together. It's one of my favorite color combinations, and you'll see that reappear in a lot of my other work. But yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and get these last little bits of line work on here, and I will show you what we came up with in the end. Oh, I did forget one last step that I did here, which was to take some of my dark black charcoal and run it along the edges and just smudge it with my finger to create a nice edge on the whole piece. And then I sprayed everything down with Krylon's triple thick crystal clear acrylic spray. But here's what we ended up with, and I would definitely use the Crackle paste again. I might actually pick up a couple different brands too, because I know some of them will react a little bit differently and have different sized cells within the crackles, and I think that might be a lot of fun to experiment with. But you'll have to let me know what you think of that. Have you used these in yours, and what's your opinion? Do you have one that you like over the other ones? Because I would like to pick up some more, but I also don't want to buy 37 of them, because that's just, as much as I love art supplies, that's a lot. So yeah, let me know what you think, and yeah, if you liked my video today, give me a thumbs up, and go ahead and subscribe if you haven't. Don't forget to hit the bell notification, and it will tell you when I put out a new video, which is every Friday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Thank you all so much for joining me again this week, and I look forward to seeing you next week. I have a really exciting video next week, at least I think so. I'm really excited to do it, so make sure you check it out, and I will see you then. Take care.